A very good afternoon to everyone. Like we are looking for the unit number 3 functions, and as of now we have completed the different types of functions. How we are going to call the function? Like we have seen, there are two different ways. First one is like to use call by value, and second one is to call by reference. When we say call by reference, at that moment we are using the concept of pointers. Instead of directly assigning the values, we are passing through the address of operators. Like if you remember, then we have seen what is overloading of the function. It means the overloading of function means we are using the same function, same name of function, but for different purpose. Like we have seen the example of addition function. Uh, in the addition of function, like we have seen the function without parameters, doing the addition. Then we have taken two parameters as an input. Then we have gone for like addition of three numbers, like having the three different parameters, but with the same name of function, right? So such concept we called it as function overloading. Thereafter, we have seen what is default arguments and what are the constraints or the conditions for default arguments. So when we say default argument, like it is always at the time of declaration. Let's say I'm declaring here. Okay, I will use some other color to make it highlight for you. Okay, void. Let's say I have a display function, or okay, I will take the addition, add as a function, and here I'm going to declare it, right? So what is the conditions are there? What are the different conditions are there? When I'm going to assign the parameters at that moment, here the default argument should not be at the very first. Okay, this should not be the case. However, if you wish to give some value to the variable as a default, so it should be the rightmost. Okay, let's say B. Then I'm having integer C, integer D. Okay, this way. The default argument must be, it must start from the right hand side. Okay, so this is very important condition. It should not be at the start of like while you are declaring any function. Second case, when you are going to call this function from the main body, main functionच्या body मधून ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही हे function call करणार like this way, add. At that moment, you are allowed now to give value for B, C, D. Okay, if you don't pass the value for A, the value for A will be taken as 10 implicitly. Okay, it is not necessary when you have mentioned it as a default argument here in the declaration part. Okay, ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही declaration function declare करताना, if you have mentioned any default argument, it is not necessary to give value again like this way. Okay, let's say B is having 10 value. Okay, I will take same value for all. C is also having 10, D is also having 10. Okay, if you are going to make addition of this like this way, okay, I'm going to make comment, and here I will write return something like return A plus B plus C plus D. So here it will be taking the value in terms of like B, C, D, 10, 10, 10, and the value for A is going to be taken from here as a default argument. Okay, though you have not mentioned, but let's say if you mention the value for A variable as let's say 40, जर तुम्ही इथे मेन्शन केली 40, so it is going to be override to the previous value. Now A becomes 40, and whatever the result like 10, 10, 10, that is 30, 30 plus this 40, 70 will be the output of this addition. Okay, what are the rules you need to remember for default argument? Default argument, it must be the at the right hand side, rightmost parameter. सगळ्यात उजव्या साईडचे जे पॅरामीटर असेल, it is a default argument if you are assigning some value. Second case, you may give value to the default argument or you may not. तुम्ही व्हॅल्यू देऊ शकता किंवा व्हॅल्यू नाही दिली तरी चालते. कधी? when you have used the default argument like this way at the time of function declaration. If you have not given value at the time of function call, so it will take implicitly this value. If you have given the value, let's say कुठलीही value असेल, now it will be override to the previous value. Now a will hold the value as 1, not 10. Okay, so these are the things you need to remember with default arguments. This friend function we are going to look along with the unit number, maybe 5th unit, class and object. So in that unit we are going to look friend function. Now the point remaining is inline function. Okay, so today we are going to see what is inline function. Okay, as of now we have completed this. Like this, PPTs are also uploaded in your study material. So if you wish, you can go through it. Okay, now we are going to discuss it now. What is inline function? Okay, I will read for you. This is a facility feature provided by this C++ compiler, which called as inline function, and it comes with along with the inline keyword. Okay, one more result keyword. Inline function is a function that is expanded inline when it is called. Okay, I'm going to mark this line in some other color. Okay, I will read the next line. When the inline function is called, the whole code of the inline function get inserted or substituted at the point of inline function called. Again, I will highlight this point. See, what is the meaning? When, okay, don't read now this inline word. इथे inline word read करू नका. Just read it as a simple sentence. When the function is called, function call कुठून करता तुम्ही? Main मधून. Okay, I will move to main function. Okay, I'll go to the compiler first. Online C++ compiler. Okay, is screen visible to all? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. It's namespace std. Okay, so here I declare one function. Let's say, okay, we will keep the same function. Just now we have seen void. Let's say add, and here I'm having some two parameters, integer a, comma, integer p. Okay, I'm going to use. Okay, I'm going to declare and define the function here itself. Okay. Let's say a is equal to a plus b. Okay, I will make it simple. C is equal to a plus b, and C out. Addition equal to C. Okay, but I need to pass the value. Okay, this is what function declare and define here. How we are going to call the function? We are going to call the function using main function. Main function च्या आतमध्ये काय लिहायला लागतं तुम्हाला? त्या फंक्शनचं नाव, let's say add, and the values. Okay, it has two parameters, so I'm going to give now here two parameters. Let's say 10, 20. Okay, you can give this way, or like you can create. Just a minute. Hello, am I audible? Hello. Hello. Hello, am I
Hello,
audible?
am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just give me.
Okay, just give me a minute.
I think there is some
I think
network
there is
issue.
some network issue.
Okay, now is screen
Okay,
visible?
now is screen visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, all right. How we are going to call the function? Here I have declared and defined the function and its body. And here I'm using the same name of the function and the number of parameters, same number, 1 and 2. Here I called you two parameters. Okay, this is one way. The other way is like you can have two variables here, let's say x comma y. Okay, and here, okay, here I will give value for x is 10 and y is equal to 20. And instead of passing directly value, I can pass here as x comma y. Okay, okay. You can directly pass the values or through variables. And third point, what we have seen, add. Here you can pass address of operator x and address of y. Okay, but okay, if I wish to go with this way, then what I need to do? What I need to do? I need to make this as a pointer. मला इथे काय करायला लागेल? Pointer use करायला लागेल. Right? And I need to use here pointer addition. Okay, so I'm not going to I will not increase the complexity. We have seen how we are going to use the reference, call by reference. Okay, I'm trying to keep it very simple now. Okay, see, here I declared x and y. X is 10, y is 20. And now when this function get called, it assigns first value to the variable a, that is 10, and second value to the variable b, that is 20. And c will compute the addition of a plus b, and it will display the result. Okay, okay, check whether it executes. What is c? Yes, I have not initialized here. Okay, I will initialize integer c. See, what is the error? C was not declared in the scope. Here I have not declared. Now I declared what is C variable. Now I'm trying to run the program and it gives me the output as 30. Okay, addition is equal to 30. Now check, again I will go back to the inline. See, I'm going to read now first line. Inline function is a function that is expanded inline when it is called. Okay, when it is called. Function call कुठे होते? If you check, function call is there in the main. आता main मध्ये मला ते use करायचे. See, when inline function is called, the whole code of the inline function get inserted or substituted at the point of inline function call. याचा अर्थ काय होतो की जो फंक्शन तुम्ही इनलाइन डिक्लेअर केलेला आहे, ओके, जे फंक्शन तुम्ही इनलाइन मध्ये डिक्लेअर केलेलं आहे ते फंक्शन कुठे येते? जिथे तुम्ही फंक्शन कॉल करताय तिथे ते सबस्टिट्यूट होते. Then I will go back to the program. How to define an inline function? Here I just need to mention as inline. Okay, instead of void I will use int, and instead of this cout, what I will do, I will return something to a plus b, and here okay, I'm going to use one more variable, add, to hold the result is equal to this. Cout addition is equal to just add cannot be used as a function. Okay, I will use a. Addition is equal to 30. Okay, now check what is the execution happens here. आता इथे execution कसं होतंय, or you can directly call this add here. Okay, now check what and how execution happens. See how program executes. Program execute कसं होतं. Here you have declared the function in and define the function. When this function gets called, okay, without inline. Okay, I'll remove this for a time. ज्यावेळेस इथे function call होते, then compiler goes here and it will check the definition of the function and it will evaluate the result. It will evaluate the result here and then it return the result to this function. जिथे function call झालेला असेल तिथे तो result काय करेल, return करेल, and then the compiler will move to the next line. Okay, but what is the use of this inline function? Okay, when I declared this function as inline, okay, now this execution is not executed at this moment. Hey, execution कुठे होते? Okay, I will copy this. Okay, I will take a screenshot of it. Just give me a moment. See, I typed paint and it has searched over the internet. I want to use the paint application here. Google. Okay, see, I will try to write the code if when I have not used this inline. Okay, for time being, I'm going to remove this. Okay, for time being, I'm going to remove this inline. We will check first how the regular function works. See, compiler recognize that function is defined here. इथे काय केलंय, function define केलंय. Then with this line up to this line, this is what the body of this function. It compiler get to know, but compiler is not going to execute because execution is start from this line main. Now it goes, it checks the value for x and y, and there is one more variable, let's say a variable. And here when it comes to the line number 15, a is equal to add x comma y. So what is x? 10, y 20. Now when compiler, and what is this add? Compiler is asking about what is this add. Now when it traverse from this upper side, the compiler will come to know, oh, this is what the function. So it will control will goes to this place. Okay, control will go to the line number 5 again. It will check and it will assign the value 10 and 20 to 10 is going to assign with A, 20 is going to assign with D. And what is there in the body? So there is one more variable and here, and this is of no use. The variable is of no use. Then it goes to the next int. Sorry, it is return something. That means I use some other kind of return type. Void सोडून इथे दूसरा return type use केला, that is integer. And as the return type is not void, so it must include with the return statement. And what this function is going to return? The result of this a plus b. It calculated what is a, that is 10, and what is b, that is 20, and 10 plus 20, it gives 30. So this function is going to return a result back at this place. And now a is holding 30, and what is the next? Cout 30. Okay, the value of a is what? 30. So you will get a result as addition is equal to 30. But now here what I did, इथे काय केलंय? Now we are looking for the concept of inline function, how it executes inline. Okay, the word with inline. Now when I say inline here, okay, just give me a minute. Inline. Okay, when this function get called, this complete body, okay, this body is going to be transfer over here. Okay, इथे एक्झिक्यूट करून त्याचा रिझल्ट इथे येत नाही. हा जो काही फंक्शनचा ब्लॉक असतोय, इट इज गोइंग टू बी completely transferred at the place where function is get called. So that is the meaning of this second line. When the function is get called, the whole code of the inline function get inserted or substituted at the point of inline function called. Okay, so जिथे function call झालेला असेल, okay, I will go to the print again. जिथे ते फंक्शन कॉल कॉल केलेलं असेल तुम्ही कुठलं, द फंक्शन विच हॅज दिस इनलाइन कीवर्ड. ज्या फंक्शनला तुम्ही इनलाइन म्हटले तो फंक्शन डायरेक्टली तिथे कॉल होईल. कुठे? तुमच्या त्या मेन फंक्शनच्या बॉडीमध्ये. इन्स्टेड ऑफ ट्रान्सफरिंग लाईक कंट्रोल फ्रॉम हिअर टू हिअर calculation and again their transfer of the values, instead of that what happens, the whole body is going to be substituted at the part of your function called. So that is what the inline function. Okay, and what is like, it has a syntax. You should mention only the inline keyword before the function name. जर तुम्ही आधी function काय यूज करत होते, return type, the name of function, parameters, right? So only you need to use inline keyword. And now what is the importance of this inline? So it will reduce your time. Remember, inlining is the only request to the compiler, not a command. It's not a command, it's a request. The compiler can ignore the request for inlining. The compiler may not perform inlining in such circumstance like the compiler inline function म्हणजे तो बॉडी कधी ट्रान्सफर करत नाही if function contains a loop, if your function had some for loop, while loop, do while loop as a dependency part. Okay, if a function contains static variables, if a function is recursive, the function call itself again and again. This is the meaning of this recursive. If function return type is other than void and return statement doesn't have exist body, if a function contains switch or go to statement. Okay, so एवढ्या सगळ्या conditions जर if your function is following, then you are allowed to use this inline function. Inline function कसं वर्क होते समजले? Hello, have you understand how this inline function works? Hello, you can answer yes or no, or you can answer in the chat box. Hello, I think someone speak, but it's not audible. Okay, so all right, I'm going to share you this the link of this implementation. I will wait for a minute, few minutes, and then we'll start. Okay, here I'm going to put some line for you. Okay, to make it as a simple, once again, I'm going to remove this int. I'll type it as void. Okay, we will keep as simple as. Okay, now execute this program and send me the screenshot. Okay, this first 5 lines I'm going to share with you in the chat box so that it will save your time. Okay, so start doing it and send me the screenshot. I will wait for 5 minutes and then we'll start for the next point. Do it fast. Do it fast, guys. Do it fast. Send me the screenshot. Okay, good. Few of you have submitted. See, this function is working same as inline function is working same as your regular function. Only thing is what you need to use the inline keyword and its execution instead of executing at this moment, it directly took at this part. Okay. इथे एक्झिक्युशन होऊन नंतर रिझल्ट तुमचा परत फंक्शन कडे पाठवण्यापेक्षा this whole block is going to be at the place where your function is called. Okay, so this is the difference. Syntax, with syntax you have only the difference, you need to use this inline keyword, that's it. Okay, good. I am getting a response from many of you. Okay, now we will start with the next unit, unit number 4. The remaining part of this is going to be like, okay, I'll move to the PPT one second. Here. Okay, this friend function we are going to see. This friend function we are going to see in the unit number 5 during class and object. Okay, rest all things we have covered. I'm going to upload this presentation by today for your reference. You'll find some other examples like here I have taken along with this default parameters. Okay, the function along with default parameters, sum of 2, then multiplication. Here cube, that means you need to multiply 3 times. Okay, and when you are going to call this function, as it is mentioned with the inline, so cube function. Okay, so this function, instead of executing at this part, your function is going to execute at this place. Okay, so you'll find this example for your more reference. Okay, I'm going to stop now unit number 3. Now I'll be start with unit number 4. Okay, so we'll be starting unit number 4, that is array and string. Okay, just give me a minute, it getting loaded. Yes, unit number 4, arrays and string. What are the contents? The objective is to make you understand about the concept of array and string, how we are going to use the array and how we are going to use string in the programs. Okay, so these structures we are going to look here in the unit number 4. So what are the contents? Array fundamental, array as a class member, then arrays of objects, then we are going to look string. These strings are nothing but the same thing which we have learned in the C programming. We are also going to cover these strings. Then we are going to check the array of strings, then string class and modifying the string objects. Okay, those contents we are going to look here in the unit number 4. The contents again. Make sure you are mute so that other won't get disturbed. Okay, so now we'll start with the array fundamentals. Basically, when you say array again, it's a kind of a data type. It's a structure which can hold the values. Okay, now before starting with array, I will go to the program here. So can I give like, as of now we have seen only like a variable with one value, right? X equal to 10, but can I give 2 values to the variable? Yes, anyone, can you answer this? आतापर्यंत आपण काय बघितले, एका व्हेरिएबल एकच व्हॅल्यू दिलेली बघितली, बट कॅन आय गिव्ह मल्टिपल व्हॅल्यूज टू वन व्हेरिएबल? Yes, anyone from B division?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just okay, as you told, so I will make it separate. Okay, like this way. So if I try to give value 10, I will give space. Just check whether it is accepting or not. No. Expected comma or semicolon before the numeric constant 20 च्या आधी what it expected, it either it gives comma or semicolon. Okay, so I will give comma or semicolon. I will try with comma first. Okay, now I will run the program. Expected unqualified before the numeric constant. So what is 20? It don't recognize it. Okay, now I'll try with semicolon after 10. Now check. Yes, now what it indicates, there is a variable x, there is other variable y, this is a constant which we called it as literal, and this is again one more variable. Okay, that's fine. But now what is this 20 and where it is stored? Is it stored somewhere? Okay, I can see where this 10 is stored. 10 कुठे store झालाय? That I can see. We have seen with the help of address of operator. Address of operator नी 10 हे कुठल्या लोकेशनला मेमरी ऍड्रेसला स्टोअर झाले ते बघू शकतो. By using address of x. Address of x, if you check, you'll find at that address you'll find the value 10. But now what about this 20? Where it is stored? Okay, just check here. I'm going to print the value of x. Okay, after this addition, it will print the value of x, that is 10. Okay, so I will move to the next line so that it will remove the confusion. It goes to the next line, 10. What about this 20? So 20 is not part of x, that is clear, right? Instead of 20, I will give 30 value. And here I will print x and y both. Okay, check now. 10, 20, but here 30 is not printed. Okay, I will check. Yes, but what about 30? This 30 is nowhere printed, right? As it is not assigned and it is not stored at some place. So with this, we can say we can assign only one value to the to a variable. Okay, are you getting this? हे समजतंय का की एका व्हेरिएबलला आपण एकच व्हॅल्यू देऊ शकतोय? Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but now I wish to give multiple values to the variable. This is what the limitations of primitive data type. Primitive data type कुठले? Integer, float, character, okay, or a double. See, these will hold only one value for the variable. एका variable साठी ते एकच value काय करू शकतात? Hold करू शकतात. And this is what the limitation of primitive data type. But now, like there are some advanced things, or you can say innovations are happen here in the keyword set. And the solution come up with, if I wish to store this multiple values. Okay, now I will remove this part of function. Okay, if I wish to store this multiple value to the function, at that moment there is a concept of array. But again, with this concept of array can, this now x we called it as a array variable. This open and close square bracket, it indicates the number or the size of an array. This again, it indicates which type of values are stored here in the array. Array मध्ये कुठल्या टाइपचे व्हॅल्यूज तुम्ही स्टोअर केलेले आहेत. Okay. Now there is one more, as it overcomes the limitation of a variable. The variable चे limitation काय आहे की at a time एकच value तुम्ही store करू शकता. Now with array you can store multiple values for a single variable. Again, it has one more limitation, and what is that? It can store only same type of values. And it means if I declare the array variable is of type integer, जर मी array variable इथे कुठलंही घेतलं असेल, ते variable जर मी integer type चे घेतलं असेल, then it must contain only integer values. Okay, तर त्यामध्ये कुठल्या असतील? फक्त ह्या इंटिजरच व्हॅल्यू असतील. It cannot store a mix like integer and float or integer and character. So array will not store mixed values. Array will store only same type of values. So that is what we are starting with the array. And how we are going to declare this array? The data type like integer, float, character. You can give any name to the array, and here the size. For an example, int is the data type. Here int is what? The data type. X is what? Your array name, and this 6 is nothing but the array size. That means for this for this X variable, I can have 6 values: 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so for this variable X, I can give at max 6 value. I can give less than 6 as well. मी 6 पर्यंत व्हॅल्यू देऊ शकतो किंवा 6 पेक्षा कमी पण मी व्हॅल्यू देऊ शकतो, बट not more than 6. Okay, so the drawback of the variable is overcome with the concept of this array. Now we will move to next. How or in what different ways we can declare this array. आता हे array आपण कुठल्या कुठल्या वे मध्ये डिक्लेअर करू शकतो? Yes, so for them, if you check, we have 5 different types. If you check it here, just give me a minute. Okay, if you check, we can declare array with this integer a of 3. Okay, so it can hold these 3 places. It in the memory, it can reserve these 3 places. Okay, or this is what initialization. This is what initialization and declaration. Int a of 3, and it gives 1, 2, 3, 3 values. Okay, any 3 values you can give. Now it has like this way: integer a of 3 and the blank. So blank, if you don't give any value, the compiler will treat by default it as 0. If you give only one value, just now we discussed, आत्ताच आपण बघितलं, at max you can give 3 values, or you can give less than 3 values as well. 3 पेक्षा सुद्धा कमी देऊ शकता, but whatever the values you are going to give, so it is going to be made available here. Okay, so this way you can have like the different types of array declaration, most commonly used this way. Okay, so here I am going for, okay, so as it's like annotation, so I'll remove it now. Just give me a minute. Okay, so here I'm going to assign, if you check X, I'll go back to the slide once again. Here you are providing the size. If you check size and then the values. Okay, here I'm going to provide the size, let's say 4, and I can give the values less than 4 or 4. See out. Now, okay, I will come to this moment. Okay, first we will see. Okay, इथपर्यंत समजले का सगळ्यांना? सांगा व्हॅल्यूज असाइन करेपर्यंत. Yes. Then we will see how to retrieve the value from array. First, let me know, have you understood up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we are going to see how we are going to retrieve the value. Okay, as we have multiple values for a single variable, then how we are going to retrieve it? Okay, first I'm going to give all the values, let's say 30 and 40. These are the 4 values for array variable X, as it has size 4 and it is of type integer. So all the values are of type integer. Now, if you see this array Now these values are stored as per the index. The first value is at the index location 0, second is at 1, respectively. If you check, this is the 0th location, first location, second and third. Ultimately, you can say the last location will be the size -1. जितकी तुमची arrayची size असेल, -1 will be the last location of your array index. And if I wish to print 40, size is 4, and I know 40 is the last element. So what I will do, x size -1, that is 4 minus 1, that is 3. I'm going to print this 3x of 3, and here I will write last value from array equal to, okay, and I am going to display it. I'm going to run it. Last value from array is equal to 40. If I wish to print the first value, I know array index is start from, yes, array index is start from 0th location. Okay, so here I'm going to write /n. Okay, I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste it. Instead of last, I will use the first value. First value from the array index, and first index value is 0. Okay, just check. Here I'm going to run the first value from the array is 10. Okay, now, okay, have you understood this concept? See, storing बघितलं आपण की व्हॅल्यू कशा असाइन करतो, right? This way we are going to assign. How we are going to retrieve or how we are going to access the element? This is what the default index location. Array name, if you give array name and its index location, if you check here, this is what the name of array, and this is what the index location. Array name and index location. Okay, and we know it starts from the 0th location. So if you write x of 0, it will give you the value, the first value from the array, the second value from the array. Okay, so array and index. With this array and index, the name of array and the index, we can retrieve the value from the array, which is required to you. Okay, so have you understood this? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we will go to find out, let's say this first problem we have gone through. Okay, but now if I wish to display all the values, okay, now fortunately we have only 4 values, right? इथे आता किती आहेत? 4च values आहेत. So I can write this statement 4 times. Okay, instead of this, first what I will write, value from the array. Okay, 2, 0, 1. I'm going to change only the index location 2. Here I already have the third index, and then I have 4, 3, and here 4. Okay. Okay, now check. Here I'm going to run, so it will retrieve all those 4, but not. See, if you check, if I write 4, it gives the garbage value because 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, you have index up to 3, and if you give index at 4, so it will not, like, it will give you some garbage value because it is not as per your size. So this is not the correct. But if, let's say, if I have 100 or 1000 of values in an array, ह्या array मध्ये जर माझ्याकडे if I'm having more than, let's say, 1000 values, so how are you going to give? Like, are you going to write this statement 100 times or 1000 times? Of course not. This is not a good practice. So what you can do, we know we have a for loop. You can iterate it. Let's say here, look at this part. I'm going to write, let's say, I know the index is start from the 0. So here I'm going to give I is equal to 0. That is my initial value. I is less than the size x dot size and I plus plus, so that it will go on increment. And here I'm going to put this statement, and instead of this 0 1 2 3 4, I know I have incremented the value of I variable and it starts from 0. So here I'm going to use the variable I. So in the first iteration, it will print a of value of I variable, that is 0. A of 0 I know, that is 10. Now it increment, as there is nothing here, so it will increment the value of I with 1, I plus plus. Okay, so it will check the condition. Is it less than size? Yes. So it will check now x of 1. What is x of 1? The second value is 20. Again it will increment 2. Is 2 less than the size? Yes. Now it will print x of 2, 0 1 2, that it will print now 30. And likewise for the last element. Just check. I'm going to run the program. Okay, I think size, I'll check with length. If not, here I'm going to give the static value, that is size I know, that is 4. Just check. So 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. Instead of writing this 100 lines, I can write the program by using this 4-line only. Let's say here I'm going to pass 10 values. The size is 10. And here I have some values like any value. Okay, just check. Okay. So you are going to get by using this for loop. इथपर्यंत समजलंय का? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what you need to do, you need to initialize one array and you need to display the value from it. Okay, the remaining point we will be cover by tomorrow. Tomorrow we have lectures, right? So we'll discuss the remaining points of this unit by tomorrow. So for today, you have only this homework. You need to create one array and you need to display the contents of that array. Okay, you can take a screenshot of it for your easy reference and execute the program and send me the screenshot. Today we will stop here.